So, welcome to another deep dive, everybody. Today, we're going to be looking at something a little bit different,
Yeah, a little out there.
a little bit out there. And the piece that we're looking at today is called Mass, a very concise title.
Gets to the point.
And we're going to be looking at ice cream.
Ice cream.
Ice cream, green women,
Green women.
golf carts,
Golf carts.
and
Mussolini.
Mussolini. Yeah. So,
I mean, who would have thought?
buckle up, folks, because this is going to be a wild one.
Yeah. So right off the bat with this piece, we have to acknowledge that it is written from the perspective of an Asian woman.
Yeah.
And it's written in this kind of stream of consciousness style that really just jumps all over the place.
Yeah.
But I think it works.
Yeah. No,
Right.
it definitely works. And it's a very, very interesting way to explore some of the themes that she's trying to get at here.
Yeah.
So yeah, she dives right in and she says that ice cream is essential for survival.
Yeah. Like not just a treat.
Not just a treat. This is like
You need it to live.
you need it to live. Yeah.
Which, I mean, I kind of agree.
You know, in a way, yeah, it's definitely a comfort food for a lot of people.
Mm.
But she takes it to a whole other level, and it's connected to this power struggle with these green women that she mentions.
Yeah. What is it about these green women?
I don't know. I don't know if we ever really get a clear definition of who they are or what they represent.
There's some clues.
But it's definitely, yeah, there's definitely something there. And it's a struggle against them.
Yeah, and this is where I think the ice cream being essential for survival comes into play, because it's almost like this this source of power.
Yeah.
You know, like you need the ice cream to combat these green women, whatever that means.
Yeah, and maybe it's not even like a literal combat.
Right.
Maybe it's like
Maybe it's more.
a metaphorical combat.
Right. Like you need the strength or the comfort that ice cream.
Maybe it's not even like a literal combat.
Right.
Maybe it's like
Maybe it's more.
a metaphorical combat.
Right. Like you need the strength or the comfort that ice cream provides.
Right.
To deal with like the daily struggles of life.
The green women of life.
Exactly.
The green women of life. Yeah. And then it gets even weirder because then she starts talking about pimps.
Selling illegal ice cream flavors.
Okay, so illegal ice cream flavors. What does that even mean?
Right. Like, are there laws against certain ice cream flavors?
Yeah, she mentions raspberry and cookie dough as being like these forbidden flavors.
Like, why those two?
I don't know. Maybe it's just like a...
I think it's more about the idea of them being forbidden, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what is it about society that makes us crave things that are off limits? You know, like the taboo, the forbidden fruit kind of thing.
The forbidden ice cream.
Exactly. And this whole thing about the pimps and the brothel, it's like, is this a commentary on like the underground economy?
Yeah.
Or like the things that people do to get by, you know?
And the lengths that they'll go to get these forbidden ice cream flavors.
Exactly. Like maybe the raspberry and cookie dough represents something more than just ice cream.
Right, like some kind of vice
Exactly.
or something that's, looked down upon by society.
And then she goes on to connect ice cream consumption with business success,
Oh, yeah.
which seems like a stretch, but
On the surface, it does.
it does. But then she talks about how, like, you know, if people eat enough ice cream, the docks will run more efficiently and the boats will arrive on time.
Yeah, it's like this weird connection between
Yeah, what's that about?
like personal consumption and like the larger economy.
Right. And I think this is where we can start to see some commentary on like consumerism and capitalism.
Yeah.
Like the idea that we're constantly being told that we need to buy more stuff
To fuel the
to
economy,
fuel the economy, and that's the path to success.
even if it's something as simple as ice cream.
Exactly. And maybe the ice cream is just a metaphor for all the stuff that we're told we need.
The stuff we don't actually need.
Right, exactly. And it's like this endless cycle of consumption that we're all caught up in.
Yeah. And she's not saying that's a good thing.
No, definitely not.
She's definitely critiquing that.
She's making us question it.
Yeah. And then we get to Mussolini.
Mussolini, yeah, out of left field.
Where did that come from?
I don't know, but it's there.
Yeah, but she just throws him in there and she's like, Mussolini. And it's like, what does that even mean?
Right, but again, I think this is where her unique voice comes through, because she's not afraid to just like throw these seemingly random things together
Yeah.
and make us figure out the connection.
Yeah. And maybe the connection is not even something that's like super clear cut.
Right, maybe it's more about like the feeling or the overall message.
The vibe.
The vibe, yeah.
So what kind of vibe are we getting from Mussolini?
I don't know. I mean, he was a dictator,
Yeah.
so maybe it's about power
Oh.
or control or the abuse of power.
Or the dangers of unchecked ambition.
Exactly. And maybe she's trying to say that like this whole ice cream obsession, this consumerism, this drive for success. It's all connected to this kind of like lust for power.
That's interesting. Yeah.
And it's like a warning, be careful what you wish for because power can corrupt.
Yeah, and it can be very seductive.
Exactly.
Okay, so we have this whole ice cream war thing happening, but then it like totally shifts gears. And now there are these green women.
The green women, right. They were in the beginning.
And they're terrified of golf carts. So we've got this ice cream. We've got Mussolini. We've got this whole critique of society. And then we've got these green women who are apparently terrified of golf carts.
Golf carts of all things.
I know, right?
Golf carts.
And she mentions that it all stems from some kind of conflict over chairs.
Chairs. Yeah, like what is that about?
I don't know, but I feel like the chairs are important.
I think so too.
Yeah, because he says this line, every chair is part of a bigger story.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So what do you think the bigger story is?
I think it has something to do with like place and belonging.
Okay.
Like a chair is a place where you sit, where you rest, where you belong.
So maybe the green women have been displaced.
Possibly. Yeah. Like maybe they've been pushed out of their homes or their communities.
And maybe the golf carts represent the thing that pushed them out.
Yeah, like maybe the golf carts represent like gentrification or development or something like that.
So they're afraid of the golf carts because they represent this loss of place.
Exactly. And maybe the ice cream represents the attempt to find comfort or solace in the midst of all this chaos.
Okay, so we got ice cream, we've got green women, we've got golf carts, we've got Mussolini, we've got chairs, we've got like a whole societal critique going on here.
Sure, a lot.
It's a lot to unpack.
But I think that's the point. Maybe it's not about finding just one meaning. Maybe it's about seeing that like everyday life is actually really complex. There are all these layers underneath the surface.
I like that. Like there's always more to things than we might realize.
Exactly. And it makes you think, if ice cream can be a symbol of power and chairs can be like this essential resource, what other stuff are we missing? What else has a deeper meaning that we just haven't noticed yet?
Whoa, mind blown. This whole deep dive has been like a wild ride.
It really has. And it leaves us with some big questions. Like, if ice cream is so important in this piece, what happens when it's gone? Does it show how much we depend on things we take for granted?
And is this like a commentary on consumerism or how fragile our systems really are?
Totally. Lots to ponder.
Definitely. Next time I see an ice cream truck, I'm going to be thinking about all of this.
Yeah.
And I'll be looking out for any green women who might have lost their chairs.
Yeah, keep an eye out. You never know what you might find.
Yeah, I think she wants us to think.
She wants us to question everything. Exactly, and to come up with our own interpretation.
Yeah, and there's no right or wrong answer.
It's all about the journey.
The journey of the ice cream and the green women.
Exactly.
All right, so hopefully this deep dive has given you all something to think about. What resonates with you the most from this piece?
Yeah, what stands out to you?
What are your own interpretations?
And what other connections can you make?
Yeah, because I think there's a lot more to uncover here than what we've even talked about today.
Definitely.
So keep exploring, keep thinking, and we'll see you on the next deep dive.